This is a test to see if we can figure out how to stream together, which looks like we've managed to get on my end. I can see me pointed at the screen. I'm Michael, RC Crawling. There's some of my SCX 24s behind me. And Judson is here with me. We're looking at his micro garage, I think.
Kind of a micro shop garage, whatever you want to call it. It's where I do my work.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of that thing and lots of those rigs. Lots of cool rigs there. How many are you up to at this point?
So I kind of tried to come up with a count tonight, and excuse me, hold on one second. It built rigs this year, 56 built rigs. So some of them good, some of them not good, but it's been a learning process this entire year for sure.
That's awesome. That's got to be a lot of fun to be able to get those many rigs together. I've been working on SCX 24s mostly, but then in the last few months I've branched out into the 18 scales, and then just picked up my first 10 scale and got it out on the trails yesterday for the first time.
How you liking that thing, Michael?
Oh, it's so much fun. I'm so glad I picked that one up for my first 10 scale. I knew I wanted a trail rig, and it did great. We just did easy trails with it yesterday. Nothing really challenging at all, but it was just so much fun to drive. And then I took it out earlier on my backyard course, which I set up for micro crawlers, and was able to actually crawl with it, hit some lines with it. Completely different than with the micros, but it was fun. I'm going to try it again tomorrow when the sun's back up.
Nice. It really looks cool in the videos that I've seen so far. I'm working on a 10th scale myself, starting to put together a VS 410 portal kit. Got some fun body stuff coming for it. So not ready to talk about that a whole lot yet until it gets here. But when it gets here, we'll definitely discuss that too.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. That's going to be an awesome build.
Certainly trying to figure it out and learn it. And it's been a long time since I've done 10th scale, and but looking forward to getting back into it.
Yeah, this is, I've got no prior experience with the 10 scale rig, so this FMS rig has been really nice so far. It'll be fun to dive into it and do some upgrades. I've got some wheels on the way. Hoping they get here soon and I can start wrenching on this thing.
That's going to be awesome. Wow, what wheels do you have coming this time?
They're Batrazi metal wheels. They will look stock. They just got brass rings, so help get some low down weight, help keep it planted, because it is a little top heavy. That is a big body, so a lot of top weight. Even though it is Lexan, it does lean and rock and roll out on the trail. So this will just help keep it planted, keep it upright.
I gotcha. So I think you might have sent me pictures of those wheels that you actually ordered for that. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. What tires are you running on that thing? Are those just what came with it, or did you order some tires too?
Yeah, just running stock tires. They're doing great for what I've done with it. Even on the backyard course on those rocks, ripped up wonderfully. Just grabbed and was about to just rip part of the course apart if I wasn't careful with it.
Nice. So what else you got going on over there, Michael? You got the 10th scale that you just got in. You got some new wheels coming for it. Show us some of the other builds you've got going.
So this is my recently mostly completed K-truck. Got the etched skull on the windshield there. The driver is the Grim Reaper with a Starbucks drink, and continued the red and black theme on the wheels. These are Trio wheels with LGRP 1552 center hubs, DJ crawler tires, kind of the highway street tire look, and a coffin on the bed, running a Mofo RC Meteo Velocity pancake with a Big Kid Tiny Truck ESC. And this is a really fun truck. It does not side hill at all, but it's a pretty capable little crawler if you attack things head on.
Now, which chassis was that?
This is a prototype chassis, PDRC. I can drop a link to Instagram in the chat here in a bit. But it's a 3D printed chassis. I think it's a 25-degree skid angle on it, so really aggressive skid angle. But this chassis works for a K truck really well, in my opinion.
Nice. Now, is that the joke? Is that the prototype for the Joker? Is that what that is? Or
yes,
okay,
yeah. So the plan is these are available in 3D print currently, but the plan is to have them in maybe some metal or carbon options soon, to my understanding.
I'm gonna have to get one of those on deck and play with it.
Yeah, that's the second one I've built. The first was the C10, which now lives in Washington, but that's the first Joker chassis I built, and they're really capable crawlers. I've run C10 links on both of them, but with the front link setup, it stretches the wheelbase from a C10 to about a C-bolt, so it's about 145 millimeter wheelbase, just because of the way I've put the links together on the chassis instead of in the top stock position under the skids.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then you can see this in the shop behind me. This is what started it all, what got me into crawlers. Ordered a SCX 24 Power Wagon and knew I wanted to start modifying it. Started with Injora wheels and went through several pairs of tires before I landed on the DJ crawlers. But this is what got me back into RC.
So that's
How
the
about
one
you?
I've seen that one on Cape Crawlers, I believe. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
it was the 15th episode on King of the Course on Cape Crawlers. It was a lot of fun to see it on Adam's course.
That's cool. So I guess Adam let his course go somewhere else, right?
Yeah, saw that he posted sometime last week, maybe last weekend, that his course was for sale, and he showed us the folks that picked it up, loaded it up, and drove off with it. So he's setting up a new studio and getting a new course. But it was kind of sad to see that thing go. But I hope somebody will do something cool with it, and whoever picked it up really enjoys it.
All right, I see a comment out there from looks like Wood, and Wood uses wheel weights on his tires. So Wood, tell us a little more. What kind of what kind of wheel weights are you using there, buddy? Let's see if I got something with me.
I'm just playing with my orientation, trying to figure out what the best angle and setup here is. So if I can angle down and see a little bit more of my workspace, it's a little bit of a mess. But I do have this project that I want to dive into. This is a sub chassis from uh, John over at Grandpa's Off-Road RC Recovery. So this is going to be used. It was designed for the Playmobil Beetle, so it'll be going underneath here. It's currently sitting on stock chassis rails that I custom made some magnetic body mounts They're just using a stock position, body mount, and glued some magnets on it. So the Beetle, everything's going to be getting moved over to this new 3D printed chassis that John designed for Beetles. And you can see his Beetle Mischief Maker on Adam's King of the Course series. Yeah, it was on recently, a couple episodes back. So what are we, in the mid 30s? So look for Mischief Maker, and you can see that chassis in action on Adam's course.
I think I watched that video one night last week, it seems like.
Yeah, I've been talking with John for a while. He's a great guy, and it was neat to see his Beetle in action. I've seen some clips of it, but Adam does a really good job showing the trucks on his course.
That's cool. I'm gonna have to get used to this. I was sitting here working with something on the screen and trying to put something out there for everybody to see that's watching with us tonight. But Wood's talking about using weights on his tires, and when I was doing this, I was like, "Where's my hand? My hand's not out there." There's a little delay between my screen and what my camera's seeing. So anyway,
Yeah,
my new thing lately has been this tungsten putty when I'm trying to get my weight bias right, and instead of adding more weight somewhere where I don't want weight, and I can just take a little bit of this putty and add a little bit here and a little bit there and get things kind of evened out. Still not great at it, but this stuff right here is pretty cool stuff. It's heavy too, heavier than what you'd think it'd be. You can also find I found tungsten tape on Amazon, and I'm starting to like that. If my wheel weights aren't where I want them to be, I'll take a roll of that tungsten weight and wrap a couple wraps around my brass ring before I put it back in my insert. And it's nice, man. I'm starting to like that. This tungsten stuff
that,
is cool.
yeah, that's a good idea. I've seen some people using some metal weights, but the putty looks like a real good, attractive way to mold it and fit it exactly where you need it, make it look more part of the build rather than just something strapped on there.
Yeah, I don't think I have one in here with. No, none of these have it, but I've got some where I'll take it and wrap it under the servo mount down here and wrap it around the housing of the axle and put all my weight down low and center. And yeah, no, it's pretty great stuff, that putty.
Yeah. So do you have some that do you just work it with your hand?
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to work. I thought that was nice.
Coming in for a close up.
Give me just a second.
Yeah. Yeah. So Judson is showing us the tungsten putty that he's been using that we can work by hand. And what I've seen guys doing is putting the putty here on your front axle to help get that 60-40 weight bias.
But yeah, it's very, sorry, my camera fell there, but very moldable. You can take it, weigh out how much you want on a scale, then take it and mold it the way you want it. And it's here in Texas where I live with the humidity, it hadn't fully dried out and like completely hardened. So I could take it right now and peel it off of axles and change the weight if I needed to. But easy stuff. Oops, excuse me. I certainly like it. And we'll find a link for that for anybody that needs some of that. I buy it often on Amazon, so I'll find a link for that and get it to you.
Hey, Pat's Crawler Garage. Thanks for checking in with us. So, one build that I've been slowly working on, one of the SCX-24 stock chassis TJ Jeeps, which you actually sent to me. Thank you for the body. That's really cool. And as a surprise, Purple Viper, or the Fat Viper, not the Purple Viper, the fat one. So my challenge has been trying to fit the only receiver I can use with my GT3. I bought it because it was orange. I'd recommend getting something like a GT5 or something that you can use micro receivers instead of this giant thing for your SCX24s. And I think for size reasons, I'm going to swap out the MBL32 that came with the Fat Viper and put in a Big Kid Tiny Truck so I can tuck this up nicely. But this thing is a lot of fun to crawl with. I need to get some more shots and videos of it. But I was wanting to get it buttoned up nice and clean before I start posting too much about it. And
Will
then I
that
could use this EFC in a different build that has more space.
will that receiver will it decase?
Yeah, it does. And it saves a little bit of space. I actually did that here with my Forerunner build. I decased it and just nestled it in there. So it does save a little bit of space, but I don't like the way the pins come off the board, like some of the micro receivers that bend backwards
Yeah.
and just tuck on top of itself. But yeah, it does decase. I've not had any issues with it. I don't run these rigs in water, so waterproof isn't an issue, but I've not shorted it out or had any other issues with it.
Okay.
And they're cheap receivers. They're like $15 for a 2-pack.
That's nice. Yeah. What receiver? I think I have a little nano receiver in this one for an MB4. Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you talk about that? Pat's looking for a remote and micro receiver recommendation. So I've not used any micro receivers, but if you've got some experience, tell us about it.
So I've been running an MB4 pretty much the entire calendar year since January. I think is when I've got my first MB4, and I've got two of them filled up with the different models right now. But everything's running. I have three of the nano receivers, which is what we're looking at here. Um, and they're tiny. They're real small. I get them from RC Steve 710 is who I've been getting them from. He sends them with a case and all of the micro wires to the regular 3-prong servo wire. But these little nano receivers have been great. They're easy to bind. Um, Everything about them has been nice. So kind of been looking around trying to find some online just to buy myself in bulk, and I haven't found what I wanted yet. But I'm gonna get some of these in bulk because I've bought 50 receivers this year, so I'm gonna start buying them some other way. I hope they're not cheap. They're not
Yeah, but
expensive. They're not cheap.
yeah, but if you need the micro receiver, that's the way to go to get the builds buttoned up nicely and looking as scale as possible.
Well, it frees up so much space. Like, I mean, that compared to, and don't crucify me for my wiring, but that little thing there compared to this big blocky thing here is a big difference. So the weight's different, everything. I don't know. It does. It makes a huge difference. It's what I'm going to go to. I'm going to go to these from now on. I'm not going to buy those big fly sky receivers anymore. But
Yeah, I'm thinking about making the upgrade to a different radio so I can start using those micro receivers as I really enjoy the scale builds. Um, I think that's something I want to continue. So investing in the right equipment is good for the hobby.
absolutely, it makes life easier in the long run. You're not always chasing something. If you buy right the first time, it makes life easy. But
Yep, save you money in the long run. Buy once, cry once.
Yes. So my little kid, my 6-year-old, uh, he has a Fly Sky GT5, and I've kind of been
Hmm.
playing with it lately with some of his stuff and learning that setup. And man, that's a great setup. It's I'm pretty impressed with the GT5.
Yeah, I don't have one. Like I said, I've got the GT3. Um, I at the time I didn't know much about radios, and I saw it on Amazon and it was orange. Said, "Cool, that'll go with my green and orange build if I
Yep.
decide to switch radios." But that's still running stock um, radio. Um, it's a 3 channel, and it does what I need for basic builds. But I think I want to get into builds with using more than 3 channels, and
Yeah.
that'll be the point that I decide to upgrade.
Okay.
I see Wild Bill RC joined us. Um, little off topic, talking about batteries for the Apex. Um, I use Jin's Ace in my SCX 24s, so this is a 400 milliamp. It might be a little big for the Apex. I don't have an Apex yet, um, but I'm sure you can find this style battery with the right connector for the Apex. And so I would look at Jin's Ace. They offer a lot of small little batteries.
Yeah, so and that's an Enlightened battery there. Enlightened RC is where I got this from. I get a selection of batteries from them, and then I've been buying from Palm Beach Bots, and they have a
Mhm.
battery that. Let's open this up. They have a battery that's pretty much the same size as that one. This a little bigger, it'll fit in there too. But there's all kinds of there's what is this? I don't even remember what this battery is. Uh,
Yeah, what's the capacity? How many milliamp hours we got on that thing?
This one's 200 milliamp hours.
Okay,
Ah,
yeah, that sounds in line with what I remember from the videos I've watched on the Apex. I think it's pretty small, about 150, 250 milliamp hours.
and I want to say this one's 250, but I don't remember. If someone knows, correct me. There's, I think this is a 250 milliamp battery here. But okay, Pat says he uses Palm Power batteries. Uh,
Okay, yeah. I've recently been introduced to, let me see if I can dig around and find it. Another battery manufacturer out there might not have the small batteries that you're looking for the Apex, but they do have a lot of good size batteries for crawlers. So this is a Ergenic 450 milliamp hour battery, and it's nice and thin, so very small compared to a little bit larger than stock, but stock comparable size, a little bit smaller profile. So Gen's Ace is worth checking out. I think their 900 milliamp hour is pretty popular for the 24 and 18 scale. If you've got a 24, you're going to want something smaller than this, though.
yeah, that's a pretty big battery there.
Yeah, yeah, it fits really well in the Power Wagon and the Beetle, but I can't use it in the any of the other builds. They're going to take a much smaller battery, like that Gen's Ace battery. That's what I run in these.
And sometimes to get my weight right in a vehicle, like if I'm running a battery to the back, but I have too much forward weight, I'll go ahead and run a big battery in the back, kind of like I have on this Apex chassis. That's a 300 milliamp battery on the back of it, but I needed some extra weight in the back, and that's where I got it from. Just went ahead and threw a big battery back
Yeah,
there. So
That's a great solution.
kind of put a little bit of weight up high,
I've
but
used large batteries in the front for forward weight before, so yeah, that's a good way to move your weight around.
that's a fun truck to drive.
That's a good looking truck.
So I pulled this charger
Good
out.
seeing you, Pat. Hope you join us again soon.
Hey, thanks for stopping in tonight, Pat.
Yeah, talk to us about the charger.
Yeah, so I picked up the charger mount from RC Man 920.
And he's on Instagram. I think we've lost your volume. If you can hear me, I've lost audio on my end.
My truck and run my truck for a little while to charge batteries. Just take this out, set it up on the picnic table, and go. So
Very cool. I lost audio on my end a little bit. I'm not sure if anybody else did. So I just caught the end there of what you were telling us about your charger.
alrighty. This charger came from. I was saying that it came from RC Man 920 on Instagram, and
Uh-huh.
he sends you the base for it. You have to order the M12 adapter from Amazon. Pick one up at your local hardware store, wherever you want to get one. And man, it makes it so nice. Instead of having to use your truck to charge a battery or take a big power station out to the field with you, fits in a backpack and take it apart. Just pull it out when you need it. In less than 5 minutes, you have a charged battery again. So on these small batteries, but
That's so cool.
yeah, it's super
Yeah,
nice.
I was just talking about um, figuring something out for trail charging one of these big things. I think that's probably a little bit out of reach. So trail swapping batteries is probably going to work for best for the 10 scales. But yeah, being able to charge when you're out on the rocks, out on the trail, nice upgrade.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been fun. So it's extended my crawling sessions for sure. So and it's super easy, super simple.
Yeah, excellent. So we've been live for about half an hour. We were just testing our setup, and I think we were able to at least get it working. Um, we had a few viewers and questions, so I appreciate everybody that joined.
Hey, I
Do
looked
you have
up at one
anything else?
time and there were 8 people on at one time.
Oh, wow.
So
That's awesome. I think I
yeah,
saw 4, but yeah, that's cool. I
that was
appreciate
kind of early
everybody
on.
joining us.
Yeah, let's we'll get some input from some other people about some topics they'd like for us to talk about, and we'll knock some stuff out. I think we're planning on going live again. Are we gonna go next Saturday night? What are we going? What was our plan?
Yeah, I think we can plan on around the same time, um, around 9, maybe 8:30 at the earliest, going live again. We've got some topics we can talk about. I will figure out how to be more able to pull up stuff on screen. So right now I just have set up a tripod with the phone. Um, but I think I can figure out how to get the laptop involved and be able to pull up images and websites um, to reference what we're talking about live.
Sounds good. I'm gonna learn more about this. I'm gonna get a more steady camera mount and maybe a different camera, and we're gonna attack this. See where we can go with this for a little while. Enjoy it.
Yeah, it'll at least be fun to chat and talk about RC for a bit. Talk about our latest builds and what's worked and what we've tried that hasn't worked.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think next week we'll do it again. And until then, everybody have a good week and keep crawling.
Yeah, keep crawling And make sure to tag us in your videos if you get out tomorrow on the rocks. And we'll see you again next week about this same time.
Have a good night.